Oh hey. My name is Sohje, Ashaya in some spaces. My name is Super Sohje. That's my singing name. That is my artist name. You can find me on the internet out here if you want to listen to some of my music. And I'm going to be very fidgety, but I'm going to post it anyway. If you're watching this, that means that I have successfully recorded a video, edited a video, and posted a video. So clap for me. I did not know that this bothered me so much talking about my story until I am looking back on all of the footage of all the bloopers of me, full hair, makeup, outfit, everything, ready to talk about my story, and I never can get through it. So I'm trying something different. I am going to upload what I can, when I can, and what I can handle mentally. And so I was looking through some footage and I found the appointments that I had when I had to get checked for ovarian cancer. So it was kind of a scare, and the backstory, I'm going to tell you the backstory, and then I'm going to show you all of the clips. And the thing that made me smile about the clips is that I was such a busybody. Like, I was shopping for a venue for my video. I was having rehearsals with my girls. I was recording my album that never came out. At the time, it was 2016. So please be kind about the footage. But pretty much what happened was that the backstory, Argy's Cabinet is my herbal company, my wellness company, and it was named after my grandmother who passed away when she was 48 years old. And she was our world, period. So pretty much I learned so much from her. And then like I said, that's what my companies is named after her, and that's what Argy's Cabinet is, short for Argy's Medicine Cabinet. So boom, she passed away when she was 48. Keep that number in your mind. Boom. So as I'm getting older, I'm starting to run towards that number, like, oh, I'm seeing how young 48 actually is. So my mom, when she was 47, the long story short about that is that she wound up she wanted to move. She was like, oh, I want to go to Atlanta, I want to go to Georgia. So because she had like her nursing license in all of these other states, she just got a job at another hospital. They're like, okay, come on, we'll get you an apartment, all this stuff, the works, whatever. Everybody was super, super excited. So like, let's say if this is a Thursday, we're supposed to be moving her down there. This is Wednesday night. My mom kept complaining about pain and like all this stuff and uncomfortableness down there. And so when she went to the doctor, her friends and all, because she worked at a hospital in labor and delivery, so like, all her colleagues are doctors and gynecologists. So she got an exam, and basically they were like, hey, you had all your babies, your uterus a little bit prolapsed, so we could just take the uterus out. No more periods, no more babies, no more pain. Like, let's just get this out of there. But you can keep your ovaries because we don't want to put you through menopause. Mind you, my mom's 47. So fast forward, my mom, she has the first surgery, and then it is routine that they do biopsies of all the surrounding areas and send it to pathology. Pathology is the area. Pathology means something is wrong, like like there is an error. So like the disease section. So they send everything off to pathology, and then so like if my mom was supposed to move Thursday, they called her on Wednesday. 47 years old. She was almost 48. She was like 3 months into being 48. They call her and tell her, hey, we know you supposed to be moving. We know like this surgery is supposed to like, got a hysterectomy, but partial, keep your ovaries, you about to go young, live your young life, but you can't go because you have ovarian cancer. So not only did she just have surgery, they're like, you have aggressive ovarian cancer, and the people who have this kind, once it gets out of the first stage, it metastasizes and goes to their lungs, their heart, like everywhere. Metastasize means that it moves to other parts of the body. So she was just like devastated. We were devastated. I did not talk about it because I did not want anybody's pity. I didn't want nobody calling my mama, scaring her. So I think, so at the time I had just got to LA. I was living in LA. I was sleeping on my friend's couch. I was saving up all my money. So I had just flew to Chicago for her first surgery. And now I'm back in LA, and my mom's calling me like, girl, they said I got cancer. So I'm devastated. And then I made a decision like, me going to Chicago, me being there for my mom, like, yes, it can help her, but at the same time, it's up to her and God if she gonna live, you know. Like, that was like one of the smallest moments in my life, and then I was kind of like crying about it because I kept, you know, every time I would go home, I would make sure like she had food, and you know, I want to be the big sister, I wanted to be like the super daughter, so like I want to get her flowers, I want to, you know, do all the things and spend all my little money that I'm saving. So my friend, he was like, girl, like, it's okay, like, it's okay if you decide to go home, it's okay if like that's where your heart is, like, go ahead and go home. So he was just like, because what you can't do, you can't keep spending all your money going back home, spending all your money, because you know, like, you know, people, like, you can't live on somebody's couch forever, you know. So I actually did not go home for the second surgery, but I was like on an emergency call. So they called me but something happened with the robotic or something, like the machine that they were supposed to use to get my mom the surgery, and she did not get the surgery that first week. They wanted to give her 2 weeks to kind of heal from the first surgery that she had before they went back in. And so they gave her, so it ended up being like 3 weeks since the first surgery. So she had the first surgery, 3 weeks later, she wound up having a second surgery. So they called me in the middle of the surgery, and like I was just crying, but it was one of the most smallest and beautiful moments in my life, because I saw that like I'm not God. Like, as much as I want to change things, I can't. And it really let me see the serenity prayer that like which things can we change, which things can we affect, and which things you know, like, and knowing the difference. And in that moment, I saw that I did not have the answers to heal my mom and to take her cancer out of her body. So I was like, the worst case scenario is that, you know, I had the time and I had like the standby ticket, and if anything happened, I would be in Chicago in 3 hours. So they called me in the middle of her surgery, and they told me that hey, you know, she's not doing as good as she did the first time. Her pressure's a little bit high. She's, you know, it's taking us longer because we, you know, we got fresh scar tissue. We're really just trying not to injure what we already did, and you know, we want to find every single drop of this. So they were like, you know, but she's doing fine, we'll call you back in a couple hours. So they called me back in a couple hours, and it's like, she's in surgery, she's in recovery, she's fine. Of course, I was crying on the floor. I literally was just ugly. Like, this is one of the ugliest cries I've ever had in my life, just laying on the floor saying like, I killed her. I killed her. Me being there would have saved her, you know. But then I had to tell myself again, like, you know, you can't affect that. So boom, keep that in mind. At the time, I was getting ultrasounds every couple weeks because I had PCOS, and we had just found that out. So I'll tell that story another day. I'm telling you, got to tell what I could say at the time. This is what I can handle today. So pretty much I was getting ultrasounds every couple weeks so that we can see how my growths were. We can see, like, was the endometriosis, like, was how my cycle was affecting the growth, like, you know. So we did that for 3 months, and they pretty much told me, they're like, you know, we want to watch this so that we can come up with a care plan for you, because we had also discovered that I was allergic to birth control. That's another story time, I'll tell another day. So pretty much they were like, you know, we kind of have to take this very carefully and see what will work on you, and let's just watch it and see what happens, and you know, we'll have an answer, you know, not right away, but we'll have a good answer for you. Which I was really happy about, that they were taking care of me, and they weren't just like trying to shove things down my throat or just making me do things. So boom, my mama had the surgery. Mind you, I have an ultrasound. I just had one 2 weeks ago, or like, like a really short time span. I'm looking for venues for my video. I'm recording. I'm outside. My friends is flying in and out of LA. I'm flying in and out of LA. I'm in Chicago for their performances. Like, we're all artists. Like, I was living the artist life. It was great. So I was small. Like, I was like, ooh, my abs is coming back. Titty sitting up. Like, everything is great. So, I just thought I was living my best life. Yes, I was in pain. Yes, I was passing out. Yes, I was going to the ER. We'll talk about that another day. However, in between me screaming on the bathroom floor, I would get up, put my makeup on, and go sing somewhere. Crazy. But after a while, I just stopped wearing pants. So that's one thing. Like, a lot of people like, you love wearing dresses. I love wearing dresses because they used to help with the pain. And then they're like, oh, you like wearing combat boots. I love boots. I'll show you my boots another day. Like, I'm just literally sitting over here in front of a wall full of boots. But I digress. But it's making me feel a little better, so bear with me. Okay, so boom. So 1 week, she looked at my ovaries and they're fine. The next week, my right ovary was 4 times the size that it was whatever the other one was. And yes, I had PCOS, so we had these little growths, but I had some that weren't like liquid filled. So on the ultrasound, you can tell if something is liquid filled or solid mass, because the ultrasound, the sound waves, and or however that works, it goes through it. So they can, they're trained to see if it's solid or liquid. So they can tell if it's blood or fluid or free fluid, or so a lot of times when it's liquid inside, it's hollow and it's black. But when it's white, like the structures or the outlines are solid and they're white. So boom, my right ovary was 4 times the size that it was 2 weeks ago, and I had like a solid mass on my right side. So I had already had endometriosis. I had already had pain, but she knew I wanted kids and everything. So we pretty much was just like, let's try to hang in there so we're not giving you a whole bunch of scar tissue, which would be another issue when it's time for having babies. Because then again, I'm 29, it's 2026, and I'm thinking, oh, I'm gonna have a baby sooner than later. And now how old am I? I'm 38. I literally had to pause and go see. I'm 38, and so I thought I was gonna have a baby 10 years ago. I thought I was gonna have a baby. Girl, y'all, my plan was I was gonna get married when I was 24. We was gonna stay married for two years, no kids, get married, have my first child when I was 26, 28, 30, 32, and then be done. You know what I'm saying? So that's not how it worked, okay? So she like, girl, we need to have emergency surgery. Like, we need to push it up. I know you got a video. I know you got stuff to do, but, we have to give you this surgery. So, but before that, I had another ultrasound. I think I had a biopsy, and I think I'm gonna have to check, but I think I had surgery, and then I had to go to the office to see. That's what it was. I think I had surgery, and then after that, I had to come back to see that the biopsies that they took, like they did with my mom to find her cancer, they had to do a biopsy, and then when they came back, this is me going to the appointment, getting another ultrasound, getting a check and everything, and they found out that I did not have cancer. But the appointment was like, I'll have like a ultrasound, and then a little while later I'll see my doctor the same day. So I will be there all day. But they were nice to me. They were kind to me. They knew what was going on. They knew I could sing. The staff was so great to me. Like, it was so emotionally supportive. And, like, I used to go to these appointments by myself, and staff used to really hold me up. And so, I'm just joking and laughing, trying to have a good spirit about it. And I know I seem like super happy in the videos, but for some reason, when I'm watching them and I have to post them, I just get so, I don't even know the words to describe it. Teary-eyed, and I'd like to call it cryy. Like, I was getting kind of cryy. But I feel like I have to start somewhere, and this is where I want to start. So when I was 29, we thought that I had ovarian cancer like my mom had, and my doctor basically was just like, we have to do this surgery, we have to take care of this, because after what I just took out your mom. Oh, another part that I forgot to say, when they went and did the surgery inside my mom, they saw that it had like spread to her stomach lining, so they had to take like her omentum. They had to take her omentum out. And the omentum is like, basically, if you didn't know, that your stomach is encased, like it's held inside of a bag of tissue and muscle, and everything, your intestines, everything is held in this bag. And so basically they had to take the bag away, because after 2 weeks it had already spread to her stomach lining. So basically, if she wouldn't have got the first procedure, we would never have known she had cancer, and it probably would have spread everywhere, and my mom probably would have died. But an important thing about that, before I roll the clip and show you this day at the doctor, a day at the doctor with me, to find out if I had cancer or not, which was crazy to think about, because I was like so much younger than my mom, but it happens. But my doctor just kept saying, we support you, we support your album, we support your music, and your voice is beautiful, and we just want to make sure that you're here to be able to do that. So they were like, okay, we're just gonna call and schedule you to have excision surgery, to just make sure to get our eyes on everything. And baby, that's a whole nother story. But pretty much like, it was just like a really scary time. But when my mom, when I found out about my mom, we really didn't tell anybody, because we really wanted her to focus on getting better. Like, it literally was never, what if you don't make it? It was just like, okay, cool. So when you have a surgery, what you eating afterwards? Okay, cool. Let's get this stuff about you. And she lived, and it worked. And when people find out that she has cancer and everything, like, sometimes she get emotional, sometimes on an anniversary, and we were like holding our breath until she got to that 5-year mark, because that's when it's important. Like, they feel like once you hit 5 years, it really doesn't come back. But they cut everything out. She got a complete hysterectomy after that. It put her in menopause at the age of 48. And then after that, I did some genetic testing, and that would be another video about how that went. I think I have pictures and video of that process, the blood test and all of that, and all the things that we did and all the things that we discussed. But this is getting kind of long, so I am going to roll the clip. Enjoy, and follow me for how I found out what I had, and then also how I treated myself. And if you want to see the song that I was working on at the time, the song that's playing is called Goodbye, and the video that I was recording is called It Can Happen. It is out now everywhere on all platforms, and it's hard for me to talk about my music because the things that were going on at the time, it's like a lot of check marks, and that's all I have the capacity for today. Why is it always so cold in doctor's offices? This couch is mad comfy, but it's freezing in here. All the women at the doctor is pregnant. All of them. I'm the only one not pregnant. They probably like, she's small. When your OR tech asking you when your single gonna be available on iTunes for purchase. Winning. I cannot make this up. So I'm teaching my ultrasound lady, Terry, how to count bars so she can write songs. So she prints out I Believe I Can Fly. And she goes, just the person I was looking for, because I'm waiting for my next appointment. And she's like, could you help me label all of the things so we counting them in the lobby while she's in her scrubs. Like, I'm singing, I believe I can fly. 4. Thank you so much. Is that a quarter note? I said, stop doing that. Just focus. Just focus. You do one thing at a time. It don't have to be 4. Now I'm up in this mug, about to take a nap since they got me waiting so long. Okay, this is what happens when you've been here 1,000 times. No joke. Good night. Y'all think it'd be weird if I put my foot in the stirrups just so I can, like, lay out? Is that weird? Yeah or no? Man, this thing gotta have a... Don't fall. Oh, it is a foot one. Hold on. Success. So the nurse just came in. She like, Miss Johnson, are you okay? And she see I'm glad to see. She like, I said, I'm chilling, watching TV. Don't watch me, bitch. Watch TV. I need some popcorn or something. I'm sleepy. She come in like, Sandra, you're not getting an exam right now. Why you? What? I said, she told me to take my pants off. She's like, girl, no. Well, can I lay down while we talk? I'm tired. She like, yeah, girl. So I was reclining the whole conversation with my pants off. This is what you do when your friend is gonna be an hour late and you can't go home because y'all got stuff to do. You eat. Y'all, pray I get this place. I want to see.